pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Be seated. Dear, would you call roll, please?
Councilmember White.
Here.
Councilmember Cook.
Here.
Councilmember Farrelly.
Here.
Councilmember Osborne. Councilmember Thomas.
Here. Make a motion to excuse Councilmember Osborne. No second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay.
Vote to approve the agenda.
You're ahead of me.
No second.
Move it real quick, anyway. They have no presentation. Now go ahead.
I make a motion to approve the agenda. I'll second.
A motion and second to approve the agenda. Are there any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second. A motion and second to approve the consent agenda. All in favor, or any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Reports, Mr. White.
I would like to say that tomorrow afternoon at 4 or 5, I'm going to be having hopefully some people. So if need help and input, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. White. Mr. Cook.
Just real quick, Mr. Mayor, since you and Councilmember White were gone last week, I had the opportunity to attend the PIC meeting online. A very interesting meeting, a lot of information. It could probably be a 4-hour meeting, to be honest with you, with everything we've done. Couple of things to note, so just stepping into it, they're going to be working on a 20-year proposal for the wastewater rate proposal. That's kind of new, 10, I guess, what they've done before. They're trying to extend that out so communities and cities can plan. And then they had talked about a meeting next month in person on First Route. So we'll see.
Thanks for taking that up. Appreciate it. Mr. Farrelly.
My only report is all quiet out the back door.
Okay. Thomas.
Not no report.
Public Works, John.
Right. I handed out, hang on, there we go. Handed out a handout here. The first one is Cherry Park. We have a $250,000 grant to clear out the trees and to take care of some flooding on the street there, you can see. And so for tree removal, we're getting a couple different bids. The first bid came in around $15,000. And that will remove all the trees on the south and east side of the pond. The catch base, the piping to the catch basins, to tie that in is estimated to be around $40,000. And then there's some fencing. So without the fencing, that leaves us about $195,000 left to clear out the pond and so forth. Flooding on 10th, we cleaned out the storm drains to 167. All of the flooding along 900 block of Algona Boulevard is flowing to 167 ditch, including the houses across the street to the east. So that's positive. The guys did a great job clearing those storm drains. 11th is more challenging. In order to get rid of the water, we rented a 4-inch diesel pump from Sunbelt, and we're able to take all that water that's on the south side of 11th into our wetland area there. And that's working really well. The Algona wetland restoration project that the Dirt Works Northwest was the lowest responsive bidder, and according to according to the RCW, contracts must be awarded to the lowest responsible bidder. I phoned the references on Dirtworks Northwest, and they were very positive. That included Tacoma, City of Tacoma, and utility company. So I talked to 3 different references. They were all very happy with them. Sewer maintenance system, we finished jetting all the lines. Then we only got 1 bid for doing the camera work for those lines, and that was about $100,000 more than what was in our budget. I think that'll be addressed later in the agenda. Water meter upgrade, we had Day Wireless out here today. They're looking at where they can place the antenna and the rest of the computer parts. Hopefully we'll get something, not this week, but the following week, in terms of pricing, and like to be able to bring that to council.
Is that just a software upgrade or hardware?
Hardware.
It's not actually replacing meters.
No, the meters are all good. So the only thing we need is the antenna and the module down in our office here. That's going to go into Dana's office.
She'll appreciate that. So we'll have to walk around the city.
Ellingston Road pavement overlay, it's been pushed back to May 12th. They've had some, the delays because they can't find enough flaggers for the railway. Bicycle lane survey has been completed. Gray and Osborne is working on the preliminary plans. Under the hiring front, we've hired 1 utility worker, a great individual. His name's Lester, a lot of experience, and we have a public works supervisor starting on Monday, this coming Monday. So in the next few weeks, we're mowing, ditch cleaning, storm drain cleaning, and we're going to start looking at striping the crosswalks and major stop signs. But that won't happen in April. We have to wait for the weather to improve. Any questions?
Chief Richard.
Good evening. You got my written report in front of you, but I'll highlight first and foremost this week is National Telecommunicators Week. Those are our 911 operators and our dispatchers. They are an intricate part of the public safety team, the first responder team. Just a little side note, last year in the legislative session, they finally got recognized as first responders, formally in state law, and we always want to support them because they're our lifeline. If you're out on a call and needing assistance, that's your lifeline. And so I just want to recognize this. We'll be taking up some treats up to Valleycom with a card for everybody and telling them thank you. So that's the first bit of good news. The second bit of good news is as of today, we had the candidate that we had extended a conditional offer of employment to had passed all the background, polygraph, psych, medical screening. So I issued him a final offer of employment. He came into my office today and accepted it. His name is John Lyons. He's already been through the academy, came to us from a larger agency nearby, and we're looking forward to getting him outfitted and ready to go as part of the A team. The other things I want to talk about are administrative stuff. You guys remember the presentation from Ms. Dugard? She came in, provided a lead law enforcement assisted diversion program. We received $833,000 from the state legislature to do a joint program with the city of Des Moines. Got a little interference from King County, but Friday I kind of put a stop to that, and we're back on track. I talked to the Des Moines chief today and talked to the lead. What our plan is, they already have an established lead office in Burien, so we're just going to purchase a half FTE to take care of both cities. And so our lead person will be responding to Algona and working with our courts through the Burien office. So kind of an ease. All that, you'll see that contract and that money come to the city. It's $833,000 again. And then we will be paying the bills for the program. The other thing I wanted to talk about is traffic safety tonight. We're moving our traffic safety shifts to have a little bit more night focus. The other thing is I received an extra $30,000 to pay for 2 dedicated DUI enforcement patrols, one on one side of the week and one on the other side of the week from May 1st till October 31st. We'll also be doing the money I received from the Traffic Safety Commission will also cover an ad campaign. So I've engaged the city's PR firm. They've developed a plan, a strategic plan. So you'll see some social media posts, maybe even a news blast or two come out about what we're doing here locally. Talked about lead. The last thing, kind of court related, both court related. We had our first meeting. The court is really pushing misdemeanor probation program, not just with us, but the other 22 cities that utilize district court as their municipal court. We had our first kind of, hey, here's what we got from the court, the expectations. We're now doing that with follow-up individual meetings, and I have that on Thursday, and what that looks like for the city of Algona, and I'll have more for you for the next council meeting. Last thing, I just want, the judge would love, she hasn't been to the city in a couple of years since we signed the contract. So the judge would like to come, reintroduce herself, take any questions from the council and the mayor. So we're looking at the last council meeting in May. Other than that, I'll stand for any questions.
Thank you, Chief Shipshire. City Administrator, Jessica.
All right. Easter event is this Saturday. We have plenty of candy, with this last donation we just received. And Gary just needs to know if any council members would like to volunteer or any citizens who would like to volunteer. We just need help throwing eggs out and, hurting kids. So, if you can just let Gary know sometime this week whether you can attend or not. Miss Julie is hitting her 11th year anniversary this week, so I just appreciate her commitment. May 3rd, we have our recycling event. John recently put in for our ecology funding that pays for NPDS permit, and so we should be seeing the $130,000 check this week. Middle housing, the first draft is ready to go, and it'll be in front of Planning Commission in May, and so anticipate that being on the June agenda. Other than that, that's all I really have. Yes, sir.
Did you ever talk to them about the cardboard collection?
I did. They said it's too expensive. Yes.
Let's do that.
Thank you, Jessica. I was on vacation last week. One thing I did get accomplished is I posted my first video. Instead of doing a monthly written report coming in on the back of your bills, I'm going to do a 5-minute video every month. I can get more information in it, and that'll be posted on the 15th of each month. So, but I did put it up on TikTok today, or not TikTok, on Algona Community, and I was surprised at the first hour I got 263 views, a couple likes. So that was good. Other than that, that's all I have. Audience participation, if not, I'll lose my voice. The City Council encourages public participation during meetings of the City Council and welcomes your comments. This time is set aside for you to speak to the City Council on any issue. The Council ordinarily takes non-agenda matters under advisement invited to comment on action items as they are considered during the meeting. Individual speakers will be limited to 3 minutes each in addressing the city council. When addressing the city council, please speak clearly, audibly, and state your name and address.
I'll jump in there. Brett Baird, 402 Main Street. I just, excuse me, got follow-ups, questions, Mr. Mayor, on like, if you knew possibly what the timeline was gonna be for that drain, hopefully there at Fourth and Main.
We just got John on board, and John knows nothing about what you and I agreed to, then I will get that done tomorrow, and I'll give you a call.
And then the other thing I was gonna ask, just following up on the animal shelter thing, did you hear any more, get anything else back from,
No, I did not hear anything more.
and
What's the,
well, it was, I had called to find out if they had an opening, because we've got some stray cats down there, and so I was trapping them, and with a live trap. Let me point that out. And so I took one to Olive, and then, yeah, we won't go there. So I called the number that you gave me, I can't remember.
Metro Animal Services.
Yeah, and they said that I should check, make sure it's not tagged, or that if it is tagged or not, check with all the neighbors and maybe get online and see if there's anybody that's reported missing cat. And if I didn't find anything there, that they would suggest that I just let it loose.
they said that to you?
Yes.
All right, I'll take care of it.
So you know.
They should, so we contract with Metro Animal Service. We pay for 16 hours a month of full-time, and they should come get your animal if it's not your animal, and they should be doing all that stuff.
I have no problem even taking it to them.
I understand,
I just don't want to take it to.
but it's a service that you pay for, and they should be providing it at least 16 hours a month. I will have that conversation with the supervisor and the chief of police in Sumner tomorrow. I'm on it.
Thank you. And, yes. Oh, the other thing I was gonna add, to me, I don't know if it's just me, but it seems, is there a reason, like, it seems like water levels all over the city, and I don't know what the rain, fall has been this year, but it seems like water levels are just a lot higher than normal. Because normally you'll see it drain off, like at the end of Chicago, down there at Fourth. You generally, it's not still standing water.
I'm only smiling because it's a big major project that we've been working on for 2 years. We just sat through a half-hour presentation on our emergency flood plan, and the biggest problem we have is that the 167 ditch is not flowing north. There's a lot of different reasons why 167 ditch is not flowing north. There's beaver dams. The culverts are full of soot north of the city, so we're not able to move the water out. We're actually part of 2 different watersheds. One starts at 6th Avenue and goes south to the White River, which seems to always flow. And the other one starts at 7th Avenue and flows north, but it flows to the edge of the city and stops it all.
So there is actually a reason why
Yeah, absolutely.
it is. Okay.
But we're working on that.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you asked.
I mean, I know Pacific used to always seem like have standing water even after an hour of rain, so. But I've never seen it like that at this end of town.
It's not like it's been an exceptional year. It's exceptional because every year going north, it gets worse and worse and worse. And then the other part of that, I think what she said, I forget the angle to get to the Green River, because that goes all the way to the Green River through Kent. And it's pretty flat. She's example that it'd be like standing on one end of the football field and the other end only dropping an inch. So there's very little drop from the valley.
You said from here to the map you gave us, 37th Street and Honor is a 6-inch drop. That's in 5 miles, so that's not.
It's not a quarter inch per.
No.
0.012.
So it is, if you take that in consideration and the fact that the big culverts that are 8-foot culverts have 6-foot soot in them underneath Highway 18, that's a big problem.
And so, and what do they normally do with those? Or they've never had that problem before?
No, we've had a big problem. You remember a couple, in 2023 in November, when we flooded the whole north end? That was the worst, that we had really bad rain. That was like a 5-year rain or a 10-year rainstorm. And it just over the last few years progressively got worse. The other thing that's made it worse is the fact that what we've done in Algona is we've taken care of cleaning the 167 ditch, which hadn't been done in probably 30 years. And then we cleaned all of our storm system. So all that water now that was stuck in our storm system is not only from us, but now we got the transfer station going in.
Yeah.
And all that going in, that all feeds right into Algona.
Now, that ditch that you're referring to, is that on the east side or the west side of 167?
East side. So if you go down First Avenue, you can look right before you get to the 167. If you look south, it flows south. If you look north, it flows north from there. You can see the ditch. So cleaning it up has helped. It's helped because we deepened it 3 feet in some places and made it even wider, just so we could get more storage. We're working on some projects now because we have to take care of it on our own. We can't send it north into Auburn and flood in. We can't send it south into Mississippi. So we're trying to figure out what we can do locally to displace some of that water. So we've got some good people working on that for us now. You'll see some changes. So, that was a good question. Thank you very much. Anything else?
That's it,
Question now.
I'm done.
Thank you. Chris, you got anything?
Chris Gomez, 527 Main Street, the same all. Trucks running out around Main Street, semi-trucks and trailers. Box trucks. But the thing that's, I seen one of your officers the other day chase down one of those side-by-sides. Well, there's another one running the streets now. He's black and blue, and he ran.
I bet that's that same kid that's on the electric bike.
This is a pretty big side-by-side. It's got to be at least.
Yeah, we caught that side by side up on our property up Boundary, the black and blue one. It's the same kid we caught with the electric motorcycle over off of Broadway. His mom came out.
Yeah.
And then just the speeders. It's just the normal. Chief Scherzer sent the letter out after we talked, and I talked to Joe Sears. They had mentioned the same thing to me, and so they actually pulled one over this morning and stopped it. Oh.
Joe texted me and says, "Hey, you guys are from."
It's actually 2 today. AJ got 2 today.
Okay.
Tractor trailer.
It must have been.
So we're making an emphasis in this.
No, I get it. I mean, I'm just letting you know, it's a constant thing going down all the time. And then the other thing is we don't allow waste management to come into the city till after 6 o'clock. But I have a neighbor who drives a semi-truck, who leaves there anytime between 3 o'clock and 4:30 in the morning, wakes me up. And most of the time I'm already up because of what's going on with myself. But
Actually, waste management can't come in until after 7.
okay,
So you can't start until 7.
they usually.
I'm not sure what we can do about people going to and from work. I hear some loud cars every day.
Well, no, this is different. I can deal with a loud car. This guy's a semi-truck. It's 19,000 pounds of equipment running down Main Street. You start to look down Main Street. That street's not very old. It's what, 10 years old, less than 10 years old. And it's got fractures all the way up and down. starting to widen up. And this last winter didn't help it much with the freeze. So, just letting you know. You know, just like it's tearing up our streets.
Appreciate it. Anything else, sir?
That's it.
Thank you. Let's move on to discussion items. Item A is ordinance 1250-25, establishing unfit dwelling regulations.
Was this me? Oh, sorry. So, this is the ordinance that we've spoken about numerous times. It's finally in front of you. If you guys remember at the last council meeting, I made this my report. So what you have in front of you is the actual written ordinance by Zach. Miss Jessica and I kind of went over it. It's pretty straightforward. It creates a new section of code that allows us to deal with nuisance properties that are dilapidated, and basically those people that want to be slumlords or not take care of their properties. This gives us a mechanism for taking care of that. So this will be second touch. So I ask that before it comes next council meeting, that everybody have a chance to go through it. If you have any questions or concerns, please email me, and I will get them addressed.
This is first, that's right.
My first, we are, if you guys are okay with it, counting the first touch as my report last council meeting, and then the ordinance is here. I went over, if you remember my report, I had 11 bullet points. If you look in here, there's about 11 sections with some nuances. One of the things that it creates a blanket form for filling out a notice of violation. It creates a form in our code so people can see it. It also creates a form. Zach was very good about clarifying a few things with me. One is the warrant. This whole section is considered a civil penalty under the law, right? Because if it's criminal, then the only person that can apply for a search warrant is a duly sworn peace officer. But the way this is written, we would go to Superior Court and we would get a civil warrant. That means we would not be using force, but that would give the building official the ability to go on the property, make the inspections, and make the determinations along with their designee structural engineer or those. But what it does is it defines a process. The other process, there's an appeals process in the code which talks about it goes to the hearing examiner. The hearing examiner makes the initial determination. Once they're found in violation of this section, there's a formal hearing here in front of the hearing examiner. They can then appeal it to Superior Court. So there's an appeals mechanism, so giving them due process, and there's timelines laid out. So it's well put together. I hate bragging on Zach so much, but he did a phenomenal job putting this together, and I think it's very comprehensive.
I don't have a problem with that, the real source, but it says first on our sheet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That was my fault. I forgot it was in there.
Yeah, that's good, thank you.
Any questions? Move on to waste management, solid waste collections contract, Fifth Amendment, vacation homes.
All right, so this is actually second touch. Yeah, it is second touch. If you remember, Jeanette was at the last workshop with a presentation on this. Some of the highlights of this amendment includes waste management discontinuing service to accounts that are 90 days delinquent with the city's permission. So we coordinate and talk about, which properties, 90 days, good to go. They're also going to work with city staff city staff on a parcel audit, and so they'll send us a list of properties that do not have garbage service, and we'll go through and determine whether it's an empty lot or what have you, and send it over to code enforcement to get those citizens up to speed on what our city code is. With that being said, we're also gonna get a 30, 60, and 90-day delinquent report, and code enforcement will follow up on that as well, because if they get their garbage pulled, they're in violation of city code, so. It's gonna be a lot of coordination with waste management and code enforcement moving forward. The last big item is the vacation hold. So if a citizen is on vacation for more than 30 days or more, they can request a garbage hold, and they just ask that they get 3 days notice. Other than that,
That was 7.
no. I think they initially wanted 7, but we got them
Maybe
down
it's
to
just
3.
3, we changed it to 3, okay.
Yeah. Any questions on
How far out are we before we can go out for requests for proposals?
that? It was 2.
It was 18 months.
18 months?
We started.
Okay, let me double check with Jeanette.
What was the question, Bill? How long before we go out for requests for proposals?
I think it was a 2-year extension, but there was the 18 months to get started.
I figured it takes 18 months to do the work, so I mean, we're already 4 months in. After that, 2 years.
Any other questions? Last discussion item C, resolution 1295-25, bid award for wetland reserve restoration and interpretive trail project.
Wanna take this one?
No, you're fine.
Okay.
You're fine.
All right, so this is the second review of the bid tabulation that we got for the last phase of the wetland reserve. Dirtworks Northwest came in as the lowest responsible bidder at $1.45 million. That's not right. $1,045,000. This resolution would approve their contract and move forward. As John said in his report, he did some background checks on the company and got good reviews. I came back. Is there anything else from that?
Yeah, so I called a number of them. One was Northwest Utility District. They said it was a pretty tricky job. They did good work, well organized, cognizant of the permit requirements. Tacoma, City of Tacoma, they were clearing out some ponds. They said well prepared. They are great. Found errors in the City of Tacoma's surveys, and which saved the city a lot of money. We've got Woodmark Emergency Sewer Repair. They did $500,000 last year of work with them. Highly recommended. Excellent professional. Perfect job. Under schedule. Site is clean. Those are the kind of reviews I was able to find.
So this bid, it's kind of gone over what the grant covers, is that correct?
No, I believe, because they came under our engineer's estimate.
Right, I mean, we're looking to get more money to cover the overage. I read
Yeah,
something
how much?
that's on Twitter.
Yeah, we requested an extra $250,000 from King County. Some of that was for interpretive signs, which amounted to be about $77,000. So I think it was about $150, but I think that was in the budget already.
Pretty confident.
Yeah.
In last resort, we always have our parks levy funding still sitting there ready to use. We have it available.
So when will they be able to start?
The in-water work window is July 1st through the end of September. So I'm sure the prep work would be mid-June.
Any other questions? I see no new business, no old business, ordinances and resolutions. Resolution number 1296-25, rejected all bids for the city-wide sanitary system evaluation.
Alright, so this is the first review, so it's up to council if you wanna waive this or three-touch rule or not. But we only had one bid come in and it was,
$374,662, which was approximately $120,000 over our engineering estimated price. There was a number of, I had Gray and Osborne call some of the other potential bidders that said they were going to bid. One had a bond problem, one had a paperwork problem. A person was going to submit but didn't get around to it, I guess. I don't think they had enough time. I had talked to a few others as well, and just the timing wasn't enough. They had 2 weeks and they've been all pretty busy. We're recommending that maybe we look at the MSRC route, which is up to $350,000, that we could potentially get more bidders online, give them a little more extra time. We're not in a panic or anything like that. This can be done, a little bit later this year.
that's the small works roster stuff.
So if the city council decides to reject it and waive the three-touch rule, then we could start looking at re-advertising it right away.
Right. So we make a motion to waive the three-touch rule first.
I make a motion we waive the three-touch rule for resolution 1296-25.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to remove the three-touch rule. Is there any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Pass.
Make a motion we approve resolution 1296-25.
I'll second.
A motion and a second to approve resolution 1296-25. Are there any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Yes. Ordinance 1250-25, 2024 comprehensive plan.
Alright, so you may remember we had this in March, but we paused it so planning commission can do their public hearing. That's just a formality that's required by the state. They recommend moving forward. There was no additional comments at the public hearing. Other than that, is there any questions about the comp plan? I didn't print the 800 and some pages. I have it available digitally if you like it. Same for the public. If you want a copy of it, just let me know. Also on the website.
I've got a copy.
We've done all the touches on that, right?
Yes, we have.
Make a motion to approve ordinance 1251-25. I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve ordinance number 1251-25. Are there any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Pass. We're now going to go into executive session pursuant to RCW 42-30-110. 1D, the city council will now convene in an executive session for the purpose of considering selection of a site or the acquisition of real estate. The executive session will last 10 minutes.
I'd say so.
10 minutes, unless extended by public announcement, after which the city council may take action when the council reconvenes in the open session.